Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. I'm your host. I am super duper late. I apologize. It seems like it's a thing now. Maybe I shouldn't even have a show time. I just show up when I show up, right? How you doing? You're welcome to the show. Today I didn't do my hair. It's fine. How about it? I didn't do my hair. That is why we'll get here today. I've been running 1,000 miles. I've been running. 1,000 miles. I've been running. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You guys, how was your week? How's life going? It is November. November brings you all the goodies, thankfulness. This is where you reflect. This month is the month where you sit to tell God, thank you. You've gone through 10 months and now it's 11. And here you are. So that's when you tell Jesus, thank you for the life you've given me. I said, thank you for the life you've given me. I see the sun, I saw the rain. Another great, great falling. You guys have just made that up. It's not a song, but you know, welcome to November. This is actually one of my favorite seasons. I love the fashion. I just like the food and everything. Usually my skin is super good, so I'm excited. I'm about to start glowing around this time. So you guys, it is almost Christmas. What are we going to do this year? You guys remember? I don't know if you remember. I had said something last year on the show around this time that this year my plan was to have my kids do a creative box that we're going to fill up with things over the year and we're going to give it to our charity. So me and them are working on a project, especially it kind of worked out. You know, who knew? Who saw me just being home with my little two running around? Sorry, I'm eating peppermint here. I gotta put some peppermint in my mouth. Sorry, y'all. I bent my hair. Your mom did my hair. Oh, hello. Horrible. Tell your friend, tell your cousin. Vicky is live. Okay. She's live and she's running her mouth big time. And today topic is a little. Did I say a little bit? You guys, let me actually share the link really quickly and then we can get started. How about that? How about that? You guys, let me. The volume is high on my other device. We got Lord. We got one person watching. My people that they holiday season with all the goodies going on and things I'm working on. I think we might go back to our old short days. How y'all doing? Yeah, let's share the show. You're invite your friends. I'm feeling happy. It's November. Happy new month. October was amazing. You guys, so in August, I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna accomplish any of my goals." But guess what? This year, in the past month and a half or 2 months, I have accomplished what I wanted to do. What's up, my wifey? Hey, Joyce. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. We are in November. If you know anything about November, it is the month of gratitude. That's what I call it. November, my month of gratitude, the month to tell God thank you. Can you imagine from January up to this time of the year? Do you know how many people did not make it? I will tell you guys, this year was definitely a year of reflection and finding myself, understanding myself, and I did it through this podcast with you guys. I've learned so much. I've learned to choose myself first. I've always put other first. I've always just neglect myself. And this year was my year of being selfish, staying in my little corner. I've always had a little tight net corners, but this year got even smaller and quieter and tighter. So this year definitely taught me so much. And my goal this year in my career was to, like, I know there's three things people say you don't talk about: politics, religion, and I forgot the other one, but money, I guess. Those three things you don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. So I've been really working hard. Um, and it is coming to fruition. And I'm so excited for that because I know myself, everything I do, I always put, I know one of my mentors said, you can't say 110 because if the cap is 100, why are you capping it at 110? But I'm still going to say it. I've been putting in a lot of work and it's working out. Hello. It's the season. You guys were gonna be stable soon when the season is over. We're in the season. Reverend bro be coming for me. Dang. He said, yeah, hello, y'all be teaching the showtime like the way I be teaching the league. I'll be calculating myself. So I was running a lot of errands today and I realized look at the time. I was still an hour and a half away from home and I'm like, I am not gonna make it for 5 o'clock. Shoot. I ran over here. I'm so sorry about people. There is no consistency right now. I think I can be just tell you no showtime will just come when we come because this is killing me. It's killing me. That's why I kept it at 8. But everybody said teacher for the people and the people ain't like, bro, don't even be watching my show. Let me go to the colloquial part. Y'all ain't like, bro, y'all be watching my show. Man, y'all be watching my show. I changed the show time just for you. What happened to you now? What happened? You know, I see sharp. Let me make Riverside Pro laugh a little bit. Have y'all seen a short, bassa, modern woman angry short? I said short, bassa, modern. And y'all don't ask me when like this other hair do. You know what I had to do? I do my hair. So this is how you know you rush on the show. I still love you. Y'all still gotta deal with me. I've gotten comfortable to the whole online thing that I'm comfortable with y'all. I can say whatever on my mind. But yeah, Roses, just bear with me. We'll be on the freeway. We'll be on the freeway. I really thought being home with the kids would give you a lot of time. No, it doesn't. It really gets you so busy. It's a lot. I applaud all those daycares and childcare facility, and I understand why many people cannot take care of kids that are not their own because your own kids will work your nerves. Then add somebody else's child. How does that work? So, I mean, that's not an excuse for anybody to ill treat any child, but I'm just saying it's a work. It's a piece of work. I'm glad I didn't opt into being a stay-at-home mom because you work really hard. That's a lot. That's a lot to do. I'm sorry. It's a lot. So today's topic, I know they said, but when we really get it, I told you I'm unpredictable. A lot of you guys look at me and be like, oh, she's so quiet. I am until I'm not. But I want to still talk about this topic today because it was brought to my attention when I had some. conversation with a few of my work colleagues, and we discovered that one of our colleagues was filing for divorce. I can't say names, but she was filing for divorce on so many other reasons. But she said the one that takes the cake is that they had differences in sexual drive. Some people will say you can work at it, you can do whatever and make it work, but it's important to certain people. And we can't talk about relationship without talking about that side of relationship. So that's why we're talking about this. Okay. So all my aunties and uncles who come on here and pop in and out and see me as an innocent butterfly, please, I want you to keep that image about me. Don't come here right now. Because this topic, we're going to explore every part of this topic. So I'm just telling you now, if you still see me as little tiny Felicia, innocent, you can't talk about these things. I'm sorry to bring the news to you. I'm a mom of two kids. Okay. I'm just going to leave it as that. So basically, that's saying I'm grown. Oh man, I miss ya though. I miss ya. I've been trying to come live during the day, but my kids be working by noon. I'm like, I'm too tired. I don't have time for this to be on live every day. Let me deal with them and go sleep. Half of the time I'm half asleep, so I can't even come live. I'm literally surviving on 3 hours of sleep because I got home around 5 a.m. this morning. So I'm surprised that I'm still hyped. Okay. But let me post the topic. The topic today says, shoot the differences in sex drive. Um, you guys, my typo. I was typing this so fast, and there's a typo here when I read it over now. Reading it over. Did it make sense? Should the differences in sex drive break up a relationship? If not, what are some advisable tips? So if you're saying the differences in sex drives cannot break up a relationship, what are some things that they or the couple can do to help them not to break up? That's what I want us to talk about. It's kind of like a two-part topic. So let me put the topic up, and then you'll tell me what was something amazing that somebody did for you this week. We haven't really been talking about that. It's the holiday season. That's one of my favorite songs. I feel like getting um a new backdrop that kind of like it's Christmassy. So I might get a little backdrop that's kind of Christmassy. I'm kind of tired with this whole backdrop that I have right now. So I get bored easily a little bit. But y'all, welcome to the show. It looked like it was jumping me tonight, but it's okay. We got this. We're gonna die. I got River Says Pro to push to push the envelope. That's what I'm gonna call you, River Says Pro. You push the envelope, and I like it though. I like that you have all these amazing questions, and it really get you to think. Those are people I like in my corner. Like talk about stuff that really make me think deep and to answer. So bravo, 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 yeah. So I'm on here. Oh, this is looks so different now. Let me. You guys will see double of me. It's just because I'm trying to put a banner up so we can talk about this. Do you guys know this song? It's been on my mind. Let's talk about Jesus, the King of Kings, the love of love. You guys, that song been on my mind all week. And I'm like, what? Why do I keep thinking about this song? But I discovered a platform this week while I was on my way to work. I think it's called The Kingdom. I gotta check it out. Forgot the name. But I'm definitely loving what I watch on there. Um, it's a lot of teaching that align with what I believe, so I love it. Um, you guys, let me post this really quickly. I know 1 minute will want be 5 p.m., 1 minute will want be 8, 1 minute we're 6. Y'all bear with me. The holiday season will be all up on the freeway. Oh, this is, let's see, you guys. All right, let's post this link. Please share the show. I don't know. Please share the show, you guys. Support me. Many of you guys say, yeah, I want to support you. But then you'll be like, blah, 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 blah. What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? What did I do? What didn't I do? So my daughter liked this song. I'm just renting right now. Yeah. Nothing great is going on right now. Shoot, the differences in sex drive breakup in relationship. If not, what is something valuable to? I think that too. Hmm. This is why you should proofread before you post, you guys. I'm telling you, I be doing these things so fast that I don't even be considering I'm a reader. I need to pay attention to my verbiage. Okay, muchas gracias. I know that was a moment of silence. All right, now we got our. I'm off from there now. We got 2 people watching. Shout out to you guys. Welcome to the show. Type in the comment section where you guys are watching from. We know where Riverside is watching from. I need to come visit Wisconsin someday. Let me be honest. I always thought that was like the countryside, and I'm low key a city girl. Low key though, I said low key. I like a little bit of city and a little of country mix. So I'm low key. I like half and half. There are certain things about the season that I like. I would probably prefer to be in the country. And then there are certain things um about certain season that I just like the city vibe. Hey, yes, I was just saying that I discovered. Hi, Joy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming on. I was just telling everybody that I stumbled upon your show, and I really, really enjoyed the show the other night. My schedule's been a little bit tight. I haven't been able to come back on, but I'm glad you're watching. Welcome to the show. You're more than welcome to hop on. I'm going to pin the link in the comment section. Over here, we basically focus mostly on relationships, social life, things that affect us as Christian, young Christian women, married or single, however we identify. So basically, that's what we're doing here. We try to promote a lot of social topic that, those uncomfortable topics that nobody wants to talk about. That's what we like to do on here. So it is a pleasure having you watch. Really, really appreciate you on here. Thank you. You guys, y'all should go and follow. The Kingdom Talk Show. The Kingdom Talk. Yeah, that's what it's called. The Kingdom Talk. I really, really enjoyed that episode, that segment of your show the other day. Oh, it was nice. All right. So I just pinned the link in the comment section. Let me share it to my group because they're going to kill me. They're probably like, but I didn't even get any response from anyone. So I think everybody's busy. It's this season. Everybody is going to be busy. So I just need to make sure that I keep this going. My schedule has gotten really tight, but we gotta fit this in. Um, so the topic running it says, what are we talking about? Like I said, all my aunties and uncles who see me very, very innocent. This is part of life. We gotta talk about this. So we're going to talk. Andrew, bring yourself on here. I see you watching. My phone tells me who's watching. I see you watching. Where are you? Where you be? You guys, that's my big brother. I'm gonna get in trouble with him. Oh, Lord. All right. And so we're going to get started. We always share the show first. So let's share it. Share it to my sister group. We're going to share it among all these people. I don't know. My thing does not show me who's watching anymore. This is horrible. I feel like Meta is not doing a great job. It's not nice. So, what was something amazing somebody did for you guys this week? And what was something amazing you did for someone this week? So, let's just say, what was something nice someone did for me? Um, you guys, what was something nice? I can't really think about, yeah, I can't really think about something amazing someone did for me. Maybe somebody did something amazing for me, but I can't remember. But I would just say I don't think I did anything amazing for anyone, unless somebody wants to say. I don't think I did anything amazing for anyone. I have to think about that. Oh, you guys, I'm not a politician. I don't really talk about this, but this coming week is the U.S. election. Liberian people, when we hear about Liberian election, everybody is all up into it. The US election, I have not heard many of you guys talk about it, and I'm feeling salty. I'm feeling just a top bit salty because you guys need to talk about our election too, okay? If I'm being honest, I honestly still up to this point, I'm really torn because I don't belong to any parties. I'm independent. I am the wild card that you guys need to win the vote. I believe that, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So my husband, this is his first year voting, and he is super, 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 super excited about it. He can't wait. His job, they're off for 2 days, Mondays and Tuesday, just for voting. So he is super, super excited. I'm excited for him. We'll probably do a little video of him so we can post it. I'm probably gonna vote on Monday. I voted before. So this year, if I'm being honest, I'm just whatever happened. I'm just gonna vote just because a lot of people die for this right of mine, and I have to use it. So, but the expectation is not too high right now of what's gonna happen. But let's jump to it. So if you're a first time voter and you're excited to vote, good job. Go and do it. That is your silver duty, and you have every right. This is how your voice get heard. So please, please, please don't forget to vote. Go and vote. You know, you have to vote. Before you and I could sit pretty in America, a lot of people die and suffer for this right. So don't put it to use. If you're able to do it, do it. Wake up. Don't be lazy. Don't be tired. Don't say it's cold. Don't make any excuses. There is absolutely zero excuse. I need you to go and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just vote. Vote for a cause. Vote for something. Look at both candidates and vote for a reason. Because remember, your choice is my choice. The majority rules. Your choice is my choice. So I'm not promoting any specific candidate on here because I try to really keep this show out of all the politics and drama and things that are going on the internet. I'm looking down because I'm actually sharing this show to other groups right now. I'm just giving you guys small talk. But I just wanted to say you have the power to turn everything around. So do not waste, don't say, don't say, don't sit there and be like, they're going to choose and do whatever they want to do anyways. No, please go and vote. Please go and vote. So River Pro says, let's see what he says. He says, unlike Liberian elections, American election do not determine our overall living condition. I agree. I second that. In other words, Democrats or Republican president, we still got jobs, healthcare, education, and that's why we don't sweat on it. Yeah, I agree. We are blessed to be here. And you guys, I actually want to talk about Liberia, how it's going right now. Um, I know when this election, when JMB won, it was a very highs of highs. There were some lows, but for the most part, I would say my family was actually half and half. There were a few people who were supporting certain things, few people were supporting certain things. So it was a high of high. And, right now, I would say I don't hear too much from either side of my family. All I hear is the country is hard. And I just want to tell people, don't vote for a candidate because they said, I will make sure you don't have taxes on this. Come on. They can do that, but it all depends on your vote. This is a democratic, nation. So vote for something that the candidate can actually influence and be knowledgeable about your and you have to know the president is a federal, he served nation. Your state has its rules and regulation and how things are run. So I definitely encourage everybody to be very, very aware of what's going on in your community with your delegates, your senators, and all those people in higher places. You should be knowledgeable about it. Read about it. Go find out. When I first started this show, I know I started it kind of educated. I was telling you guys, every state has a delegate, and they give out all these scholarships that most people are not aware of. I was one of those recipients. I got them every semesters. Those were extra $2,000 that was sitting pretty in my pocket. So, yeah. Oh, Anna is here. I didn't even see you, Anna. Hey.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were waiting for to finish before I get on.
Oh, no, 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 no. I
Did
was
you
just
already
sending them.
start or what?
Yeah, I'm just sending. I was just sharing. um the show and asking everybody.
Okay, I'll mute myself because my background is busy.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're getting started now. It time is almost 8 o'clock. I know. I'm here running my mouth. It's been 30 minutes and I was just ranting. But like what I was saying, the election, I'm not here to campaign for anybody, but I'm just encouraging everybody, go and vote. If you have children, vote because of your children. If you have elderly, vote because of them. If you don't have any children, you're single, vote about your future life that you have vision of. Just vote. I mean, I don't know how else to say. Get up and go and vote is important. The last little vote, I think, is the fifth. So please, 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 you don't want to be there at the last minute because it's going to be busy and you're going to get discouraged and you're not going to want to go. So please vote. It says, how are you? Welcome to the show. So, disclaimer, if you have kids around you or whatsoever and you don't want them to hear like our languages or words, please, 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 we can shush them or we would try to make it PG. But I want us to talk about this because as a platform that kind of focus on relationships and social lives and things like that, we cannot have these topics and not talk about the other side of relationships. It's given. So if you are one of those people who saw Felicia as, oh my gosh, she's gonna talk about that, I'm sorry. I'm grown. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm grown. And we're gonna talk about all things. We'll be respectful and everything. So you guys, welcome to the show. Let me get started. So the topic says, should the differences in sex drive break up a relationship? If not, what are some, basically assuming you're saying yes or you're saying no. If not, what are some advisable tips for those individuals that are going through that to solve that issue? That being said, we got Anna on the show. Welcome, Anna. She's one of our panelists. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, the rest of the guys will show up. I know they're all mad at me right now because I've been late, but I'm sorry. It's the holiday season, and I got caught up with time. So, but I don't even want to use that. That's a poor excuse. It's just I was busy. That's all. But let's dive into it. Let me introduce the topic. Um, in my opinion, before people like, and you guys, I'm looking at it from the lens of marriage. I always do because, as we believe, God is watching you guys. The walls have ears and the ceilings have eyes. Those are my words that I say all the time. Basically, we're not supposed to be engaging in anything that are not under the covenant of marriage. So that's why I said with marriage, of course. But we do know there are other relationships exist, and we can't deny that. It's human nature. So, what I will say is, I don't think the differences in sex drive should be automatically canceled, where you're like, yeah, I can't do this. I think there should be, when you are in that dating period, in my mind, we have different stages of life and there are different things that are happening at different times. If you were dating someone and you guys match at the beginning of your relationship, and at some point things start to die down, you should know you're in a different season of your life. And the activity that led to that, maybe those are not happening. So in my opinion, it shouldn't be the automatic thing that people should do and say, yeah, we're not gonna have this relationship anymore. I have a high drive, you have low, and I'm not getting satisfied and I don't want to cheat. Um, okay, you guys, sorry. I'm reading in a message. She'll be back. Um, you know, you can't just have a problem. There's a saying in our community where it's like you can't just have one problem and run away, right? But I would assume it's not just one time these things happen and people are like, no, I can't live for this forever. We also want to enjoy the fruitfulness of our relationship. So if your relationship is starting to go to that level, you should start noticing the warning sign, those red flag signs, those signs that are causing those issues. We got to do that, right? But excuse me, that's out of burp. That's nasty. But I just believe that you cannot automatically break up a relationship because there's a hiccup in your intimacy level, or you're not meeting it. There's some people naturally they just have a low drive and they're not going to be able to match certain people. Some people, in my opinion, I think how your single life was affects your intimacy side. You guys, I'm using intimacy because I don't want all the kids to hear the word sex. It affect that. And as we grow, we are learning different things, and we're communicating, we're engaging with other people and things, we're hearing things, and our mind are wanting to explore different things. I think when people are in a relationship and they grow separately, I think that's where I might be naive to this, but I feel like when couples are not growing together, this is when this whole sex drive thing, like, how was it when you were dating, you guys? I'm just gonna say, because when you were dating, you were intimate, and it was different because it was at a different season of your life where you wanted to see this person. Let's compare it to where you're living together. You're seeing each other. That anticipation and that excitement is not there. Maybe the best thing to do is to open communication of compromises, compromise and understand. Maybe this person need for that is different than yours. Are you able to meet in the middle or halfway? Or are you just like, no, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and if I can, you're not making me enjoy this relationship, so I don't want to be part of it. So let me tell you where this topic came from. So this week I was having lunch with a few of my colleagues, and we were just talking, and I think one of our coworkers said to the other one, say, "You've been super quiet lately." She's like, "Yeah, I just have a lot going on." Of course, that's like therapeutic moment when you work at a hospital that has a lot going on. So everybody started asking, what do you have going on? I know everybody have a lot going on, but what do you have going on that's making you depressed? You have a great job, you have a great family, and you have a great husband, and you have great workmates, and you have good friends, and you have a support system. Why? I don't think she felt comfortable talking about it with the rest of the group, but there was like three of us left, and she's like, "You guys, um, I've made up my mind. I'm deciding to get a divorce." And we're like, that's it's kind of like one of those words when people are, or like sentences that when people drop, you're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense why you're stressed." But we didn't ask why, but she just went into it and just started saying she's getting a divorce because over the past 3 years, she's noted a drop in their sexual life, and that it didn't seem to be going anywhere, and she's almost tempted to cheat. So what comes to my mind is, if you're saying it's been few time and you guys can come to term and you're thinking about cheating, you're already out of the relationship. You're already out. You're just using the sex drive thing as an excuse. And you guys, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I'm just saying, if your first option, if somebody's already giving you that attention, we're all women. If a guy started giving you that attention and you're hearing all the things you want to hear, which I feel like most women don't really think things through, because if you're already thinking about, you know, going out there and exploring other options, you're not in this relationship anymore. You're just looking for that excuse to just pin it on it and say, yep, that's it. That's what it is. I am not staying here. I'm leaving out of this relationship. But I don't think that is the best option. Oh, yes, sis, that is true. Yeah, it is, because if you truly wanted to work this relationship out and you've put your effort, because you have to look at what effort are you putting to make you guys meet in the middle. Because relationship, as I have learned over the years, and you guys, I'm still learning. I'm so new to this, but I'm learning so much. Is compromise. I think people think of compromise in a way where it's like, if I wanted to go out and you didn't want to, and well, you wanted to, and somebody needed to stay with the kids, okay, you could do that. You go. Or, if we disagree on something, and I'm like, well, this is it, and just for the sake of peace, you compromise on that. That's good too. But compromise is at all different levels of your relationship. It starts from, hey, helping me put my shoes on, or like, forgiving me of small sins. I call small sins like you argue and you throw jabs at them. That's sin. Because you're angry, you're letting your emotion get the best of you. So you're saying anything, just anything, to make the other person feel the same way you feel. So that is the same way. And I truly feel like different sex, you're not going to have the same sex drive, in my opinion. Oh, the man of relationship expert is here.
Oh, come on. Don't start.
Just the first thing I wanted to see. Welcome to the
Don't
show, Jimmy.
don't even start.
I missed you.
No, you don't.
I missed you. I miss giving you a hard time.
No, you don't. You don't basically.
You guys, I present the man of knowledge of relationship has come to dissect this topic in full.
Your problem is just infinite.
Well, Jimmy, I was just giving the intro part of this topic. I was telling everybody, so Riverside process, the show time and change every day, just like when he changing Leon the freeway. I said, I don't know, we might have to go back to that 8 o'clock because it's killing me.
We have to.
Or we might not, we might just not have a time. We'll just tell everybody during the day when we have a show.
No, I think we should go back to the old times.
You want to go back to the old time?
I think we should.
Okay, because the people in Liberia are not even watching us. I, I did it for them, and I don't see any differences in our follow.
Yeah, it
But
was a time.
yeah, so the topic today said, daylight saving is tonight too.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Wow, I forgot all about it. Okay. Okay. So it says, should the differences in sex drive break up a relationship? If not, what are some advisable tips? So I was just introducing it and saying that in my opinion, it shouldn't be the ultimate go-to. It should not be the ultimate goal to. Let me put this on so everybody can see. You guys, make sure you set your clock, or if you have those that don't automatically change, make sure you change it because time is changing tonight. But I said open communication, being like compromising with each other and having an honest understanding of each other needs, I think is the key before you start running for the exit door. As I was saying, what really prompted this topic, we can't really talk about relationship on this topic without on this platform without talking about intimacy, the differences in that. And this topic was just you guys, I'm just breathing Jiminy where I was at. I don't know if you were watching. Were you watching? Just want to breathe you
No.
in. So this topic came about a work colleague of mine. We were all having lunch this week, and she just been down recently. So somebody asked and said, "Hey, why you're not your normal self?" And she's like, "You guys, I'm going through a lot." It was a lot of us, right? So when the other people left, when she felt comfortable, she told us that she was filing for divorce. And of course, we all have seen her family, and we're kind of concerned. The other lady said, why? You guys look so okay. I know there's a lot of things goes on in your relationship. And the ultimate thing was, she said the sex drive she was tired with that. Like she can't live her whole life with that. And without judging, I didn't really say anything there, but in my mind, I'm just thinking. And she also said she met someone that she think they are kicking it off and everything's great. But in my mind, and like I said earlier, if you're already thinking about dating someone and you're pointing out why you're filing for divorce is different sex drive, that doesn't make sense. Like, to me, you didn't really work through it. And that's what's going on lately with everybody. Everybody's ready to exit without fully being committed and work through it. And I'm not judging anyone, but that was my intro. So since you're on, let me get your intro, and then I will go through. I have a lot of bullet points that we can go through, some tips of what could be helpful for us to do. But I want to hear from you first.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to say to our viewers, those that are viewing now and those that will view later, that you are welcome. My name remains the same, Jimmy Kezulu. It hasn't changed, will never change. It is
I
as
hope not.
constant. It is as constant as the Eastern Star. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm happy to be here. Um, with regard to the topic under discussion tonight, it's a very sensitive issue, and I would not sit here and say yes or no, because human beings are dynamics. You know, we are susceptible to change. Um, we are different individuals in nature, but we all have blood running through the same red blood and the same
hmm.
white blood cell running through our veins. So when it comes to a sensitive issue like this, especially about relationship, I always tell people that there's no specific formula, you know, for relationship. Every relationship has its own formula. Everybody has their own expectation and goals to meet in a relationship. For some, sex is a major component of their relationship, and for others, sex is the least on their mind. So it depends people. that you meet. And if you meet people with two different sex drives, it is a serious issue in a relationship, a very serious issue, because if one person needs it more and the other person cannot give it to that extent, it's a serious issue because someone is not being pleased. And most of the time, women suffer a lot of emotional, distress when it comes to sex, especially when their desire is not met. You see, so sex drive, a different sex drive in a relationship is a serious issue. I wouldn't say that it should be a reason for a breakup, and I wouldn't say it shouldn't be a reason for a breakup because people have different priorities in a relationship. But of everything, the money can be there, the love, the affection, and everything can be there in some relationship, but when there is no sexual satisfaction, that relationship is that relationship become unpredictable because people don't know where they stand. And if that person stay in that relationship, they might end up cheating. You know, it could be a man or a woman who cannot please a man in bed. You know, give that man enough reasons to go outside, but that shouldn't be a reason why you should go outside. A man who cannot please his woman in bed, give that woman enough reason why she should go outside. But that shouldn't be a reason why you should, you know, misuse your pride as a man or as a woman. So for now, I'll stop there. That was just
You
an intro.
thank you. That you bring up a very interesting way to look at this from a different angle.
Hmm.
Because when I'm looking at when I hear this topic, I'm thinking, how did you get there? Was this like, did it just happen? Because like you said, people are changing and people are growing. Were you always did this person always had a high sex drive? Were you guys able to meet each other there and then now all of a sudden, is a problem, or did
Okay,
you, you
so
know?
Fee, here is the thing. Just a couple of days at work, we are having this conversation about the same thing,
Mhm.
and studies have shown that the older a man gets, you know, the lesser the strength. And that is why today you find a lot of young men living on pills or some other, things to give them more strength. On the opposite side, for women, the older they get,
Just the echo.
the older a woman gets, the higher
Oh,
the
sorry.
sex drive in most of them. You know,
Who is that? I don't know what's going on.
um, yeah, I think you kick River says out.
Did I? I was Riverside. I'm so sorry. Can you come
I'm
back?
not saying. Oh, I call it. Fee, I have to take this call real quick. I will join you a little
Okay.
soon.
All right. Yeah. So, um, so you guys, as Jimmy was saying, right? As you get older, study have shown, men when they get older, the libido drop, which is the sex drive. And to me, if people are aware and understand, all right, let me post the link again for you. when people are aware and knowledgeable about why certain things happen to people as they get older, I think it helped to guide the conversation instead of, the other party feeling like their needs are not being considered, if that make any sense. So let's say, and you guys, like I said, I'm looking at it from the lens of a married couple. You got married and, you know, you guys were, everything was okay. I just posted a Riverside for everything was okay. You could be satisfied. You're happy. Everything. Wait, did he freeze? I think he froze. You guys, I moved Jimmy because he kind of froze there. Um, it's kind of like, I guess I'm looking at it from the point where it's like you date for a few years and oh, there he is. Let's add you. Hey, River says pro story.
Hey, no, that's fine. I was trying to use my laptop because the phone, the battery is kind of like going there. I don't know, for some reason I tried to create my little studio in my basement here because the people who got their house, they're watching their African movie. But literally signal down here bad. I already got all my stuff set up here.
Don't
Now,
try to get people to kick you out of the
oh
house. The
yeah,
house
oh
on
yeah,
there.
oh yeah. That's why I left their place and came down here. But yeah,
Welcome to the show.
yeah. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me.
Jimmy, you kind of froze there. I thought I added him. Oh, okay. He froze there. So we're talking about this very sensitive topic. And actually, it was kind of like prone by, like I said, a co-worker of mine. She's currently filing for divorce because she said, excuse me, her current estranged husband, whatever you call it, is not meeting her needs. And within that same breath, she also said she met someone that she thinks is great. But I'm just thinking in my mind, um, I'm sitting here. I mean, as I was talking to her, I'm just sitting and thinking, like, you've been with someone for a good 10, 15 years. And in the beginning, everything was okay, right? You guys could meet each other's needs. Did he grow apart from you or you grew apart from him? And where did this happen? Because especially few of us who had the opportunity to start our relationship early at the early age, right? Let's say we reach into our 60s and 55, 60, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Hmm. You're not meeting my needs anymore. I need someone else who can take me there. How fair is that? I don't know. I might come off like I'm judging, but I just feel like you're not considering every other factor. And I get it. Everybody wants to reach there and enjoy that part of their relationship. But at the same time, it's just kind of hard for me because I'm thinking, like, what if that was you? Did you check? Maybe I'm not part of that conversation to know everything else, but it just sounded like you were trading that person off just because of that part of the relationship, you know? So I don't know what your thought is on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm having a bias. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I just as you were as you were talking about your coworker because I have had similar situation where people had talked to me about such issue that bringing kind of like split within a relationship. So, fee, there's something I learned in my social work class about conditioning. I think you heard like classical conditioning and operant. So example of like classical conditioning is like every time you ring a bell and you got a dog, you get a dog used to the bell. Like every time you ring the bell,
Yeah.
Then you
It's the
bring food
same
for the
thing.
dog. Yeah, you bring food for the dog. So the dog is being conditioned to know that every time that bell rings, is it's time for it to eat. So my question to you is, because
Mhm.
I want you to see it from a woman's point of view. Because
Yeah.
eh, eh, do you think that sex drive is it a natural phenomenon? Is it a natural feeling, or is it conditioning, or are women being conditioned to believe? Because my my experience about this lady, let me tell you what she did. So we went to work, she kind of like she one of those fasted, yeah, she kind of tough lady, She would come
Yeah.
and be messing up, and then one time I said, "Hey man, why you always be?" She said, "Do you know that every time if I don't have sex and my man, and when I come to work, I'm never myself." I'm like, "Oh shoot, yeah, yeah, that's what she said." Oh yeah, she one of those
Yeah.
wild African American woman. You know these people that mock body.
Oh yeah, I know plenty of them.
Yeah. So she told me, she said, when I come to work and I see you, I'm mad. I got attitude because it's not, I didn't get, I didn't get what I want. So once I don't get it, have that feeling. I was like, so I'm sitting thinking like, that's why I'm asking this question. I mean, you speaking for a woman's point of, I want you to answer from a woman's point of view. I mean, is it?
Right.
Do you think it is? Do you think she has been? Most women are being conditioned to believe that if they don't, that sex drive is something that they must do. That without it, the relationship cannot last. Or is it? I mean, can we not blame them because it's just maybe like natural thing? It's just like natural body function that they don't have control over. It. What do you think it is? Is it conditioning or is it just natural?
I think that's a great question. In my opinion, I think it depends on I think most women say I'm just gonna say I think most women are living in their fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was that one guy that they had an experience with
Mm-hmm.
that they would never ever forget, but that guy did not check off all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I really think. He doesn't check up all the boxes, but in that area of anything, he check up all the boxes, and that is stuck with them forever, and they want to continually experience that. That's the only thing that I know as women grow older and different changes happen. Every woman is different and their sex drive changes. Some might be higher or low, it depends on who the individual is. I also think it just depends on like the activities people have their self involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think it depends how early people started, being intimate. I think when they've had enough partners that they can compare what it is they really want and they've explored our options, then it becomes impossible for someone else to fill that void. Like maybe their partner their way right now. Yeah, he's great because you hear it all the time, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
great. He does everything for me and blah, blah, blah. But ooh, I wish he was like this person that got me there all the time. Like they compromise. It's kind of like sex is important to them. It's like the high of high that when they get it, they'll be submissive. They'll do whatever they can to make that man okay. No, even you've heard women supporting men. Like the man will stay in the house just because of that. Like he's great at it and it's okay. He gets her where she needs to be in her right mind, and she's okay. But I don't think it's every woman that feel that way. I think some women, overall, the overwhelming answer that I can say, there was that one experience that woman had that literally shift everything, and she wants that feeling all the time. And I feel like she will never ever forget it, especially when she comes to something that's not familiar with it. And in her mind, that was the best relationship. But when you check back, that was the most worst relationship she ever had. But that person was always able to control her in that area because that's what kept her calm. I also think that the
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming uses of toys
Mm-hmm.
have really shifted everything too. I think a lot of women that are single for a long time end up having these issues. And you guys, I'm not saying single women have this issue at all, but I'm just saying from what I have noticed, some of my friends that I've noticed been on their own for a long time and haven't really been able to have that human connection because one, they're saving themselves, they don't want to be all out there, and they're solely depending on toys, adult toys. And now that expectation of having that is not getting them there where they get frustrated. And when I look at your question, was it of how many times they're getting intimate, or is it just the quality of it? Was it the quality of it? Because sometimes too, women don't know how to communicate with their men because they're afraid the guy's gonna feel some type of way, especially in our culture, right? We don't want
Mm-hmm.
to say, you can go this way, or maybe if you try this way, this would makes me feel better. Like it's all about communication, right? If a woman doesn't feel like she can communicate with you and tell you what to do to actually help her enjoy that side of your relationship, then now it's like she's just summing it all up that we don't have the same drive. I think people get it confused sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fee, okay, what's about, I heard you talking about toys because if
Yeah.
the guy cannot reciprocate, if the present guy cannot reciprocate the same, kind of like intense sexual feeling that she has experienced in the past, and she was hoping maybe this guy, maybe he was younger, maybe she thought he had the same energy, and but things not working out. But you did mention about toys,
Hmm.
so bringing in toys because there are men who actually agree with such stuff. So okay, toys versus and I actually live in community with swingers. People who tell me,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's how I was saying your area you live. When I think
yeah,
about it, I think about the countryside.
yeah, it's kind of it kind of mix of everything. So
It's half
there
and
are
half.
yeah, there are people feel who bring in now there are other people who will bring in toy, say they're being together with this woman. Maybe things were, great. But then the man had reached certain age, like you said, the libido and other things drop, a lot of stress on his mind. So he said, well, babe, since I'm kind of incapacitated in that area, I'm not a person I used to be before. I'm not a 20 or 30-year old man that you met while back, and things not, you know, going, and I got some underlying health issue, but you can do toy. And then there are other who will say, well, and then the woman will say, well, because there are people who bring in an extra layer, an extra person. And
Hmm.
I've seen it in a lot of these documentaries. They say, well, yeah, we can bring an extra person in who will spice up the relationship, who will kind of like, in other words, they will make this agreement that there is no relationship between that, the new guy and his, and the other guy wife. But he is
But
just
do
there.
you think that ever worked though? I just want to interrupt. Do you think that ever worked?
A lot of time I seen this one where they ended up because the lady, they had a rule, and the rule was that she should not get intimate with the guy. The guy name was what's the name? Some Black Thunder or something. He was a big black dude. So they brought him in a relationship. Fee. They brought him because the other guy was a little white military guy. It's an actual
Mhm.
documentary that the other guy was an actual military guy. So he on duty and thing, and he used to love his woman. So he said, well, they went and looked on the web, and this guy, the black guy, that was his specific job. He don't want no relationship. He would come in, you give him money. He just there to. But then the women, they made an agreement that she should not get intimate, and they cannot meet anywhere private. They must meet in a. Oh my God, these people are crazy. They must meet. Yeah, the
That's a
husband.
disaster.
Yeah, the husband should be aware of their meeting. They cannot have no secret conversation. He should be. And then she kind of tried to break the rule and blah blah blah. And the guy he was because that was his job. He told her plain plain. He said, "No, I've been doing this thing since I was 20 years old." He said, I don't fall, I don't get in nobody relationship. The rule is the rule. So
Man, I think that's like
a
a
whole lot of things.
disaster. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
a disaster because we're a human being.
yeah,
And if my husband ever tried that, he would not have Felicia ever again. I'm just saying it because I can't sign up for that type of rules because you're a human being. And that is how you connect with somebody else, right?
yeah.
So if you're going to bring someone else and you connect with them on that level, like, what do you expect?
But yeah, but feel the women are the ones. I know you said your husband, but he will not. The women, majority of the time, they are the one that always bring in these things. Like men, I mean, I'm not
And
trying
that's
to
crazy. If a man agreed to it, he doesn't love her, in my opinion.
really.
Because yeah, I really do think, I think it's different if a woman say,
Hmm.
I'm gonna bring another woman in.
Hmm.
She's doing something else. I swear to God, she's doing something else. She's doing something else.
But
I
okay,
don't.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But feel before you continue. I don't think I don't see it like that as much as I won't get engaged in it. People who do it, they have logical explanation. So this man said, well, I'm catering to this woman every need, financially, paying the bills. And but that's that one place I cannot satisfy that sex drive she had. So I'm bringing this guy, but that doesn't make him a bad man though. And that
No,
doesn't mean
I agree. He's not a bad man. But it's like, okay, how do we know the person that you're coming, she's going to be satisfied with that too?
yeah, I mean,
Right?
yeah,
So will you keep finding someone to come? I just feel like, we the modern women and men, we are not ready to really put in the work. We want a fast, like a McDonald's drive through really fast, like things should work out like this.
mhm,
I just feel like one, sex drive, yeah, I get it. People, it changed over time, but I can promise you that sex drive did not just get high and just, it was always there. But they have compromised and, she would just bite it up because one, that relationship was benefiting her. Or if the man, he wanted probably the woman as, she was willing to do whatever just to keep that relationship. He was willing to do anything to keep the relationship. But
mhm,
I truly believe, like, let's look at it from a marriage standpoint. I believe when people are dating in that dating stage, you start to understand who has the highest sex drive. And if you are very, very informed and you're aware, you will know that if, for instance, the woman is the one with the highest sex drive, as she get older, it's gonna get higher and higher.
yeah.
Because it's not gonna change. So you need to choose your battle carefully. Are you gonna live on pills or not? And I don't know. I just feel like yes, the men have good intention to bring someone else in, but
Mhm.
that's a I don't know if you watched. There's a movie called oh shoot, I can't think. There's a movie called Double Jeopardy.
I heard about it, but I haven't.
Yeah, I don't suggest anybody younger to watch it. But the reason I brought it up is because it's kind of like this lady is playing a game where it's in her own interest to gain, right?
Mhm.
And however way she played that game, she's going to win because she already know how the outcome is going to be because she's a woman. She know what to
Mhm.
use. She know what to do. So she ended up, it was like her ex-husband and her, they were on a boat. She ended up killing him. But it was just a diabolical thing that when you look at it, you're like, okay, I'm married to you. And what are other ways that we can do to bring me back to actually, because sometimes it's all in your mind, in my opinion. You know, I'm not an expert in this topic, but I feel like everything that happens starts from the brain. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what were those things that you used to do before that had someone encouraged? Half of the time is intimacy level. And it doesn't really have to be where you just go because you guys are busy. And you know, you're not putting in the effort to quote, you know, like to go to that courtship. So I listened to Dr. Miles, and one of his series, he said what it means when you look at the Hebrew term of cling to your own, right? It
Mm-hmm.
clings means, you know how the Bible said a man would leave his parents and cleave to his own, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I listened to his preaching and stuff, he actually went in depth about what that word means, which he said that that word mean in Hebrew to continue to chase. So if God intended purpose was for a man to continue to chase a woman, meaning that when you wanted to get married, when you were courting her, right? You
Mm-hmm.
did everything to keep a smile on her face. You did everything. You make sure you did this, you did that. You were supposed to continuously chase her, right? And he also went back and said, a woman has to stay chaseable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if before I got married, I used to wear this pretty dress, did my hair, you know, like look cute. I know what you like. You tell me I like red. I'm gonna find all the red in the world just to wear it for us to go on a date. So it's kind of like, am I making myself chaseable enough while we're still in the relationship? So, like I said, in season in your relationship, in the beginning you were dating. If people understand every season that are changing,
Mm-hmm.
is there's something that's gonna change in your relationship. I think once people put that in their mind, they can try to adjust to how to fix that change. But I don't know. I'm just thinking like you're a human being. I'm a human being. We're gonna go to the highest of high with someone else within our relationship, and you expect me to keep the rules. No, the rules gonna be
But
broken.
but but that's the thing though. See,
Unless I didn't like what happened.
yeah, I know. So okay, let's say let's say you met them. You know, both of you met at you know how they got college sweetheart, high school sweetheart. Okay, you guys may have been together, and say you guys develop the habit of that intense sexual, you know, say, let me just give an example, maybe like say 3 times in a week, and then it's something you guys develop,
Right,
you know. So she used to it, so it's like a manual guy, you know, like it's you know like you wake up, you know, it's a routine for you guys, you're used to it. But then all of a sudden the man starts to like kind of break down a little bit, piece by piece, and the woman like, oh no, this is what you got me into. My body had gotten conditioned to this, my body had gotten used to it. So when
right.
you also, do you think if the man say, "Oh, you know what? We used to do that thing when we were young. Now we ain't young anymore." But the woman, like you said, women always got a higher sex drive. She's like, "Yeah, okay, you know, 30 is like 20 to me. 40 is like 30 to me." So that you know that you're all you talking about. You know, I still got it. So, do you blame the man or do you? I mean, do you blame the man for I mean
For
that
not
part
keeping.
get yeah getting her to get used to, or do you expect the woman to adapt to changes in the man? Do you expect a good wife to adapt to changes in the man, maybe his status, maybe his health status, maybe his physical status, you know, for her to say, well, you know what, I understand, honey, you know, we not the person we used to be. Do you expect her to kind of like um
To
flow
accept the
along
new
with
norm, like to accept it.
exactly? Yep.
Absolutely not. I don't think she should accept it. But I think there are things that both can do, right? Maybe look
Mm-hmm.
at what activity caused that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like for us, we have young children, right?
Yep.
And my kids are under 5 years old. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna use me as an example, right? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
I was that we are that couple that we were
Mm-hmm.
doing that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, absolutely not. So we're gonna sit and have a conversation. What were
Mm-hmm.
we doing before that we were able to do this,
Yep.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
one is the workload change. For example, we have little kids. There's a lot of things happening. We have work. We both work, and we have a lot of things going on. Millions of things happening. Schedule have changed.
Yep.
Like when can we do this? And and I think most people, the expectation is, and I think that's a typical thing that happen all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because let's say it was 3 times a week, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then now he's like, no, 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 you're gonna kill my back. I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I gotta go to work, and I'm working like in construction. I need my energy. I can't sleep, and then
Mhm.
that's not good because I'll get fired, and that takes food from on the table, right?
Yep.
So then this is it where you start. You could still do the 3 days a week, but is it gonna be the same quality, right? So this
Mm.
is where I think people need to compromise and understand. Right? Okay. So when you come from work, let's do this. Since you come from work at this time and this is what we're doing, how do we help with whatever is going on at home to get for us to do that? But
Mm-hmm.
instead, I think sometimes what happened is, in my opinion, I think what happened, the other partner wants the same quality every day, right?
Yep.
And you cannot have the same quality every day, because you have to remember things are changing. You're growing. Lives are changing. You probably have 2 to 3 children. You have to cook. You have to work. You have to do that. And by the time you come back, the hours are running like, I don't know, once it turns 12 o'clock, the day's over. So, how do you get to do that? I think working as a team and coming up with a plan is the best way to maintain it. But then somebody else needs to understand, out of that 3 days, two is not going to be quality. It's going to be like, hey, hey, gone.
Yep. True.
And one of it is going to be quality. And I feel like that's where the problem is. Most people don't want to don't want to say, okay, we're just going to 2 days, maybe we're doing 3 days, 2 days out of the week, we'll just do what we can. And then that one day that we have a lot of time, we can spend quality time together, you know? But I don't think the woman should accept it, and I don't think the men should accept it. I think it's a communication issue, because one, the men probably thinking, yeah, well, she probably want me to do a 3 hour. No, it's not gonna happen. So nobody's communicating. Everybody's just talking about, if we win, it's gonna take this long. Instead of saying, okay, if we do, maybe I can spare like 20, 30 minutes of time where we can spend that time together for a good 2 days. So your needs is met, but then you have to come up with a strategy. When someone whose sex drive is high, you need to start coming up with, how do you prepare their mind for them to get there.
So, but then, fee, do you say after all of that, like the advice and other things, coming up with, I mean, with a solution. So back to our topic question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, if the woman say, well, or the man say, well, my body has been uh kind of try to use the right word. My body have been used to this, and it seems like it seems therapeutic to me. Without it, I can't just I can't make it. So I don't think this relationship, even though you are kind of like winding down and you guys have tried all efforts, and just one person, everybody not in line because this person got to work, the work schedule and the hectic work, like you said, construction or some hard labor, manual labor job, and things changing. children involved, appointments and other things. But then this one couple said, "Well, I mean, I don't know. My body has been so used to it. It is a therapy for me. So without this, I cannot. So I don't think we can be in this relationship. I'd rather find somebody that would give me similar energy." Will you blame that partner for ending that relationship? I mean, should it be a reason to say, well, because I mean, like the lady who told me she cannot concentrate when she go to work. And she
She's
was being
crazy.
honest. These people don't hide things. Yeah, she told me. She said, "I don't concentrate. I don't do anything right. I don't want to come to work. I don't feel right. Every time I come here, I'll be rowdy. I'll have a problem with y'all. When I see any man, especially with the man, she got mad with us for no reason." So this woman is being a
She leaves
distraction.
the frustration on you.
Yeah. So she is being a distraction at work. She is being inefficient at work. She's not being effective at work. It is having a mental as well as psychological. So if she decides to say, "Well, you know what? So it's with this. I'm leaving. I'm gonna get somebody." Will you blame her now that she I mean, she feels that she cannot, the sex drive is so hard that if the guy cannot be reciprocal, she leaving. Will you blame her?
I'm sorry for laughing. It just sounds so funny. Like you can function because of that. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's
But
what she
I
said.
feel like, to be honest, I feel like there's something deeper for her
Mm-hmm,
than just a sex drive. And I'm sorry if I'm being ignorant to this, but I just found it like she's been solely dependent on it,
mm-hmm,
and now she hasn't found a coping mechanism, how to like cope with her life. She needs therapy.
hmm,
She needs therapy because you should be able to function. And then it makes you start to think about so many questions. Have you ever been single before?
mm-hmm,
And if you've been single, have you not ever been with any man for more than 30 days of your
mm-hmm,
life?
mm-hmm,
If not, I feel like she need therapy. She need therapy. Because to me, it's something deeper. And I feel like that's the culture we're getting in where it's like people are like, yeah, if I don't have sex, I can't function.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's deeper. People are just using it as a way to like solve the problem, like go to other people. I literally in college had a friend that if she broke up with someone, she had to have a boyfriend the next day.
Hmm.
And I never understood that. I was just like, she's like, the easier way to get rid of one is to lay under another one. I was like, huh? Like, what? Like, where do you find them though? Like, I was asking a question. I was like, where did you find him? Well, he always liked me. Boom. Here's the answer. You always have a backup plan. That's why the relationship never worked. Like, you've always had someone that you thought, oh, if this don't work, I'm gonna move on to him. So you've already been chatting with that person and had it there. Like you are refusing to go through the emotion of life of feeling sad. Those are all part of life you're supposed to go through to be as a functioning human being.
Mhm,
Not extreme, but you should be able to explore those emotions when those happen. So somebody saying they can't function, I feel like people start, it's kind of like you're saying stuff to yourself and then become normal for you. Like, oh, I can function if I can. So if you don't have a man, what happened? You just anybody that said hi or you go after it or you go get a toy, like you're so dependent on that you can't function and you're disrupted. You need help. There's something deeper, in my opinion. I'm not a psychologist,
but because
but
there are people feel who might say, and I've gotten broad spectrum even for some of my previous relationships. They say, "Oh, I mean, you don't understand, this is." So I think for them it's not, it's It's not. It's not. They don't have a problem. They think it's natural. They think it's just a natural response. That's why most pastor women cheat. And sorry, I know you're not, but seriously,
You said to one of them,
no.
oh God.
I said sorry, you're not one of them. But that's why, because pastor people, from what I learned, they are one of the pastor women got one of the highest sex driving Liberia. So you find out like if some of them say, well, I can't, because when I was growing up, in my community, like I noticed now that I'm thinking like almost all those
Mhm.
people that were kind of like, they have multiple boys, like this woman is married to this guy, but you know how possible they were always fight, this man wife cheating, and I'm like, oh, now I see. So I don't know if those were the reason why the infidelity, and I would assume because a lot of the guys maybe they were working. I'm not trying to justify their action, which is wrong,
Yeah.
but I think those are some of the things because as we discuss it right now, Phil, you won't believe how many millions of people are going through this. Like people who
Yeah.
sex drive issue is causing serious problem. They in bed, the woman touch the man, like, oh, she's not, he's like when a woman touch him, like my told me, I'm not gonna call he's in one of these states. He told me if a nice friend. He said, man, there are times that even when a woman touch me, I feel like it's a razor. He said, all my feelings just going away, fee. Like,
He's
seriously.
not, the relationship is over.
Yeah, so
He's
he said,
not attractive to her.
yeah, and he said he don't know what's he's not gay or anything. He got children, but he said it reached some point that even when they in bed, when the woman today, he just he just feel like he is uninterested, like he got no feeling. So this thing is effect, and thank God you brought these things on. These are that's why you always bring up these great topics. These are things that affect people on a daily basis. If it's not happening to you, you would think
Yeah.
you saw rock star, but they got people now as we speak. They got people who are doing counseling right now. They got people who are on separation right now. They got people who on
Right.
divorce right now. They got people going through this thing. So this is you know, if it wasn't this, if it was as easy as we would say, oh, well, she just a cheat. I think I know you say she got a problem, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that drive.
I
I
think
was.
the drive is there, but I think people, there's
Mm-hmm.
something deeper. If
Okay.
you really want to like sit and have conversation and really get to know those like her,
Mm-hmm.
she will tell you how she got to that point.
Hmm.
There's something deeper that hasn't been healed, and that's the way of escape. Like we all have our escape of certain things,
Yeah. Yep.
and that's what works for us. And a relationship that if the person touch you, you feel that type of way, you got in that relationship because it was beneficial for you for certain reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
now those reasons are not there anymore. And now you're seeing the relationship for what it is. And you don't want to be in it. And that's where I would say, yes, you should walk away because you're not helping yourself or the other person. Even though I'm someone who believes in like keep your relationship. But if that that's one of the most important part of the relationship. I feel like that's how you renew your love
Mm-hmm.
for
Yep.
each other. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can't participate in that, you're a business partner or a co-worker or what are you with that person? Like are they there just filling a void that you are hiding from? But I feel like they don't, sometimes people be like I always use myself as an example on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told you guys, like, I had my ex. That was one of the longest relationship I was in before my marriage now. And it was like, I looked at myself like, oh, wow, I think I look good. I think when I walk outside, I get attention too. So what it is, and this is why we don't think about when you're on the other end, right? It's not about you. It's about that person. And your place is to try to understand what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm glad it happened because now this person's in a relationship that they're fully themselves. Because sometimes, like I said, we were in a relationship. Everybody saw us like, oh wow, on paper y'all look great. In person, y'all look great. But people didn't understand what was happening. Like there was so much happening behind closed door that nobody understood it. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like he was just like, yeah, just give me time. Just give me time. Just give me time. And it's like, I'm young. What do you mean give you time? I'm not gonna waste my time here. Shoot, I know what I want. And if you don't want me, and I think sometimes people get caught up with, oh, she looks good, he looks good, we both look good together. In that moment, it was okay, and you got together, and it worked. But as time goes on, when you start to grow and start to understand what it is you really want, that's not what is for you. Something else for you because you rushed and got into something now, and it's like, oh, I don't want to hurt the person's feelings. But in doing so, you're also hurting that person's feelings because you're unconsciously doing stuff that you may not realize. But, or you know what you're doing, but you're using the situation to benefit you in that moment. And for me, that was my situation. The person was using that moment to benefit whatever it is they thought they were getting out of that relationship. And, but I'm very self aware and I notice a lot of things. And I'm one of those people we will talk about it. Like, if you don't want to talk now, okay, but I will remind you, we got to talk about it. So my brain can be clear of it. So you're sitting there and looking at saying like, oh my God, why? Like, I think I'm great. I think I do a good job. Like, what am I doing that is not? And then your mind start running. One, are you gay? That's what goes in women's mind first. Are you
Mm-hmm.
gay? And we don't want to think about, or maybe he's just not for you or not attracted to you anymore. Or maybe there's something you're doing that attraction is not there anymore. And they just don't want to know. They don't know how to tell you. Or they're just simply gaining from the relationship. And when the time is right, they're going to walk out. So I think people has to be self-aware and understand what's happening. What are those changes happening around your environment? So that way, if it's someone who truly really wants the relationship and is just truly having that issue of intimacy, where it's like, maybe there's something you're not doing to get me there, or what are some things can we try to make this work? And if you've exhausted every option, what's the point? Like, if it's not just that, if it's not workable, it's not workable.
But
Just
but
walk away.
but Fee, I know Anna just came in.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at the society or traditional implication or traditional aspect. Say
Mm-hmm.
uh your modern woman in the United States or modern man in the United States versus a
Mm-hmm.
traditional guy from Liberia. So because there have been instances where I've seen situation where uh you know women come to the United States and they meet African American, and these people, they do a lot to this woman, and the woman like, oh, and then yeah, and then seriously, and I seen her real man came after she petitioned for the man, yeah,
Yeah.
a friend and a brother, but the lady was having this guy, and then when the guy came, she she saw the difference because this guy could, I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, you will see the difference.
Yeah, go
I
go down.
forgot what they call them. There's a name. Oh my god. And I used to make fun out of the names all the time. Anna,
Yeah, I'm here.
what's the black American? I know
Uh,
Riverside
uh,
Pro was saying something.
Okada,
What's the black American name that is well known?
I think they call
Uh,
it
uh,
Okada.
uh.
Oh,
Shaniqua and
No, no, no. Like someone who's
bye
really good.
Felicia.
No, no, no. Wait, wait, wait. Remember we used to make fun of like the hood guy that doesn't have a job, but is really good in bed.
Oh, Tyrone.
I don't know.
yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, and then this lady came. We all came on a refugee program. She came in for a petition for the guy, but then she got into the African American relationship, and oh, this guy was doing all kinds of things that. And then when the regular guy came from this traditionalist like me, he came again. He couldn't keep up because this woman had gotten a, a whole different treatment that he not even used to. So as time went by, I think they were together for a few months. She told the guy plain blank. She said, "I can't be with you anymore." He was shocked. He's like, "What? But you made me come? Bring." She said, "Yeah, I only brought you over here. Your children are here, so you can. I mean, who you think gonna take care of your children? I brought you here to take care of your children, but I don't feel like you don't do the right thing to me in bed." And he was thinking that because back then when we were on the refugee camp, as far everything they did, it was normal. It
He
was our.
was the man.
Yeah, exactly. It was the man. That was regular stuff. But the woman, she come on the side, she have upgraded with the with Tyrone. Tyrone don't show her all kinds of things. Now the next thing. So I mean, I think that's a disadvantage. I think when it comes I think those are some of the disadvantages of people, especially guys who come from over there versus girl who been living here long, or vice versa. That it be a lot of these problems that happen between them where the woman has become modern woman, kind of like Americanized, and then her sex
She
drive.
learned all the different things that she would never know back home.
Yeah, exactly. Thing that we
And
never
she went and just called Tyrone.
Scott Tyrone. Back home fee. There was something you want to do it for women. Say what, baby? Don't try it. But now, yeah, these things are acceptable in this society. So she got used to
Right.
it. She left the guy, and today the guy is in the United States. And these are real life stories. Him and said, we are like friends and brother. He was shocked when the lady told him plain blank. The woman said, "I can't be with you." Said why? She said, "I got a black American man that treat me." She told the guy plain blank. She said, "You here to take care of your children. That's it." So you see how that relationship ended because the only reason, I mean, the guy was a hard working guy. He got a job, get a ticket, but because of that sex drive, that she wanted that extra layer, that thing. She left this guy that they been together for years, and I ain't just talking about 5 years. They got big children. And see, these are things that people are going through. So, like I said, man, it's serious. So, as far as when you asking for advice on this thing, I mean, it's kind of hard because the next thing you look see before you make up your mind, people they want to tell me, I got Tyrone. Where you going?
Tyrone on speed dial. We used to laugh at this thing in college. Oh my god! And we would say, "Oh, she calling Tyrone now."
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Oh man!
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a great point. But I would say it goes back to communication, right?
Mhm,
That wasn't nice of her, I would say, because you have to know that a culture changes, right?
mhm,
You have the opportunity to come and explore differently, right? As a woman, I think woman gets the easiest take of
mhm.
it because when they come from back home, you meet a guy who's like is entertaining when a man wants to show you something that you don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like sad for men because you're not familiar with all the crazies that goes on here, the norms, and now you're here like the expectation is you got to meet me at that occasion and you
Mm,
can, and she was not really helpful in making sure. She was only, her mind was always on herself, and that's selfish. In a relationship, it's not about that. It's supposed to be both of you guys. If he's new, she didn't even give him time to get to know and say, hey, this is a new culture. This
mhm,
is why, we're gonna start learning all this. But it goes back to she didn't want the relationship in the first place. She
hmm.
did it as a way like, oh, now my children follow. Let me just bring him. And when she brought him, she attempted and she knew it was not even gonna work because she already know what their intimacy level is like. She already know that. Now she got here and met with Tyrone, and now Tyrone have gone above and beyond everything. And now she's like, "What? That was what I was getting? No, I'm gonna go to this."
But but
But
yeah, so, sorry
mhm.
for interrupting. I
No,
know.
go ahead.
Yeah, Dee made a great son. She said they were not meant to be together. But speaking
Yeah,
again, I want to, I want a little bit disagree with you when you said they were not. She didn't want to be there. For me, I think it's society. I think because these people were together for years. So
condition,
really?
condition.
uh, but then
Condition.
I mean,
Because I could be in something for a long time because at that time it served me, right?
uh-huh.
Now I have the offer and I'm here and I'm weighing out my options. You just came. What are you gonna give me? One, the highest things on my list, you can't even accomplish that. Okay.
Hmm.
And then two, no. Do I choose to live with this forever? Tyrone's coming over here and he's knocking it out of the park.
Tyrone, una there for look. All right, yeah, Dee, yeah, you made a great point. She said, God,
So he said,
you know,
what I would say here is that some people are not meant to be together, especially when it's not destined by God. Most often, issue comes up in a relationship that serves as a tool to divorce. When you are not meant to be, if any, if I'm making sense, yeah, it is. It does make sense. Um, she said, for advice, seek the face of God before entering a marriage. God doesn't feel, and not at all. I agree. It's true. I feel like we're all going by what society have laid out for us, and we're chasing. Like you'll see a single mom, right, with 3 or 5 children, saying, and I watched this on social media, and I was like, wow, priority. Like saying if another man come in my life, and you guys, I'm not trying to judge, but it's like as a woman, once you even have one child, you should know your value have dropped greatly compared to somebody who doesn't have a child. So you have five by 3 different men, and now you're on here saying you're looking for a man and you want him to satisfy you in bed. That's top.
yeah.
Really? Really? Like seriously?
Let me grab my water.
So, so what happened to the three that you had the baby with? They didn't hit the top. Wow. Yes, distance do play a major role. So we got Anna on. Let's get her info. Hey Anna.
Finally, I get.
Um, huh?
I said finally I get to speak.
Speak.
Um,
Tell called
so
Tyrone.
it says
Tyrone.
what are some advisable. What can you repeat the
Should
question
the
so I can answer?
differences in sex drive break up a relationship? If not, what are some advisable tips?
Okay. First, I would say no. Everybody has a different, sex drive.
Mhm.
However, you know you have to find a common ground, because if you let that be the sole foundation or the sole basis of your relationship, it's definitely going to crash, because there will be times when the other person may not be in the mood, even if they were really good in bed. After a while it dies down a little bit, and if you guys based on that at first, your relation is definitely going to crumble, because things happen in life where you become busy and you may not be able to do the things that you used to do before. Right now, I heard somebody talking about God, building God, or using God as the foundation of your relationship. When you have something to focus on, and not necessarily those things that are physical, it helps sustain your relationship a little bit longer. Now, for example, I'll use, you know, everybody has something that's more important to them. Like the lady you guys talked about that left her husband or whoever,
Mhm.
she was nice for bringing him here and not just leaving him like that. But you know, sex was something that was a priority for her. And it's
Mhm.
important that when you're marrying or dating somebody, your goals or things, your interests or your priorities should be aligned. There are some women, and I'll speak to be honest, there's some women or even men that if they don't enjoy that with a lady, they cannot marry them because that's something that's a priority to them. So always make sure you align yourself with someone that has the same goals with you, have the same priorities, and also remember that God, of course, you always want to try to put yourself in one accord with God, even if you don't go to church every Sunday. But when you're God fearing, there's some things that you become a little bit more patient. You find yourself a little bit more understanding and
Right.
compassionate. um and for people that have higher sex drive, their partners always have to look for a way to meet in the middle, right? If you know that you're someone that works 10 jobs and you know that your partner has that sex drive really high, have to find a way to make sure that if you have to put in a schedule where you make sure at least every week you give it to them twice a week or whatever, find a day, even if it's something that you don't enjoy doing, do it because you love that person, because that is that person's priority. you know that's something I would say, in my opinion.
But
But mhm.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I know you. Yeah, I was a little bit okay. So, Ellen, Helen made a great point here. She said distance plays a role, and
It
definitely.
does.
I think. Look, when my wife came in the United States, she was pregnant, and then she called. She used to call me while on the camp. She said, "Damn," she said, "What's wrong with these people? These people will see you pregnant, they will still tell you say they like you." She said, "Yeah."
Yes.
Yeah, she said, "What?" Because we're not used to that kind of thing. Back in like, bro, we see pregnant woman, we are afraid of them. We don't even want to go closer to them. She said, "What she is so while like people will know she pregnant." So she's like, "What? They are crazy." So I think
Fantasy.
Yeah,
They
people
have
have
this.
fantasies though.
Yeah.
People have fantasies. Even in Africa, there are people that prefer sleeping with women that are pregnant. That's why I was saying
That's so
everyone
sick.
has their priority. Everyone has their preferences. So when you're finding a partner or a spouse or someone that you're with, you have to make sure your preferences, your goals, everything align. You may not have the priorities may not be aligned together, but they should be within your list. Like, let's say Miss Fee has her husband likes sex as
Mhm.
number one. She may like sex as number three. They have that common goal, but even though the priorities are different, which is where you guys compromise. Where if he likes it 3 times a week, you have to look for a way to get to 2 times a week. You know, so. But if you're somebody that like Miss Fee and her spouse, let's say she doesn't like sex in her list, and then she marries
Yeah.
him, it's not gonna work
Yeah.
because you guys don't have similar wants or similar goals or similar. But yeah, I'm going to beat you. Stop. um you guys don't have similar goals or similar preferences. Yeah, I mean the hierarchy or the rank of those preferences don't have to be the same, but they
Right.
should be at least within your preferences. There should be some type of similarity, because the same, I know how people say opposites attract and all the like.
It doesn't.
It does not.
Yeah.
It does not.
Similarity attract.
Yes. If if you and someone that have the same goals, you guys will never see eye to eye. Same thing with, be intimacy. If you guys don't have similar interests, or let's say for example, let me ask you, give us a pro. If you
Mhm.
had your wife and she was not good in that aspect, I mean, you've never enjoyed it, would you marry her, to be honest, when you've tried it with someone else that's better?
Well,
Don't put a nail on it.
No, no, no. It's okay.
No,
Look, let
yeah,
me
but
be honest, right? No, let
yeah,
me
that's
be
Yeah,
what.
honest.
So
sex is not always going to be sweet when you're married or
every
when you're in a
time.
relationship.
Yeah,
It's not always good. But I'm just saying, if you have the same bad
priority.
experience every time, would you marry that person? You'll be miserable because, again, on the hierarchy, on the pyramid of hierarchy of needs for human beings, that is like the basic housing, sexual pleasures and the rest. They're on the big. They are the basics that someone must have to be able
Yeah,
to survive. So if you don't have those, you're not enjoying those with that lady, you will never
but
consider marrying her, because it may not be on the top of your list, but it's something that's important to you.
yeah.
That's
In
the
order
reason
to
why
have a
people
functioning
go and
relationship.
cheat and the rest.
yeah, but Anna, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying because you're talking about. So, what's about people that are in a relationship and the relationship has evolved? Say they were in a relationship and then they stay together and they both, because you talk about priority. I mean, should people prioritize sex to the point? I mean, sorry, the children listening. Should people
Yeah,
prioritize sex to the point that some people will go to even put in divorce if say they've been together. I
it
mean,
happens.
I mean, in the instant you're talking about like two people who just met, But we talk about people.
No,
Okay, okay. What
no.
about people that been together and at
So
one point they used to do it 3 times a week, and then the man said, "Well, my condition has changed, and my work and my health wise,
yeah. So
mental,
that would
I
not be
cannot."
okay.
Uh-huh.
So that would not be fair on the lady's part. But
Right.
again, that is because that woman's priority was that before.
Hmm.
Before and she
And
was not.
yeah,
She wasn't clear.
no, I don't know if it was necessarily that she was not clear. If they were
Mhm.
doing it 3, 4 times a week or 3 times a day, like you mentioned, it
Hmm.
was something she loved. It was a priority for her. As soon as it changed, that intimacy changed, and her feelings and connections with that person changed. It was a valid reason. It may have not aligned with what her husband was, but it was
Hmm.
not fair that she left because of that. Because again, he's because of his work. If that man truly loved that woman, he would have tried his best to reduce the work, so that even if when she sees that they're broke and suffering, she'll now say, okay, I now understand. Some lessons are best
Girl.
learned.
But
No,
but
I'm being honest. I'm
but
being
but
honest. I would not, if my husband,
but.
if my husband is, if my husband is like, oh, I'm working so much, that's why I'm not able to spend time with you, and then I keep complaining, I would expect him to try to give me the time, and then when I see our finances going down, I'll be like, okay, sorry, I see now what you were talking about, but at least I want to see that effort. You know
Right.
what I
But
mean? But to be honest, if I was with him, and then our intimacy level was so nice, and that's something that I loved about him, and then that reduces, sure, I will leave. Yeah, I will, because it's something that used to be a part of our relationship. But because of this, and then you're not making efforts to try to fix it, I'm sorry, I'll leave.
so okay, wow. And so so the lady that I talk about, the one who we are on the refugee camp, this
Uh-huh.
guy was her source he was the
Income.
basically the breadwinner because he had people in the United States help them through all, and she made it and came and she petitioned for the guy. So you think she was justified only because she have had a new experience with Tyrone, doing all kinds of
No.
stuff that
No,
the
she was in that
believer.
relationship for condition.
Yes, that's what I'm
So
saying. That she
she,
genuinely did not want to be with the
she
guy.
didn't generally,
Yes,
if
she
she
did
had a
not.
choice, right? If she was given a choice, let's say they were in America and she had a choice, she would have never chosen
Wait, who? When you say
her
she will never
husband.
choose who the really?
Yeah, the one from the refugee camp, she would have never
Really?
picked him.
No,
Yeah,
guys.
It's
No.
because she didn't have any other. She is not.
See,
She didn't
see, you
she
cannot
didn't
tell me
have
experience.
an
S E
option. She
S
No,
couldn't
she
E.
never.
See,
compare.
Yeah,
see,
she never knew. What
Yeah,
I
go
tell
ahead,
No,
Riverside Pro.
no, Fear
I was
Anna, you
telling
guys cannot tell me. Fear Anna, you guys cannot tell me. Fear Anna, you guys cannot tell me that XEX is on the top priority of your. I
it's
mean,
not
Not
for
for
us.
us.
on
Not
no.
for
Not
us.
for us,
But it
right?
was
But
for
for some
her.
people it is.
And
Not for
sometimes,
us.
so can I say this? Sometimes people don't really know women. A lot of majority of women don't enjoy sex until they meet the right one.
Yes.
Sometimes they marry people, they think that okay, they're hitting it here and there, they will not understand. But when they meet someone that who spins your mind, they're like, okay, this really feels good. They will switch their priorities. Trust me. That's why they say experience is the best teacher. You
And
know, if
that's why when I was answering earlier and you said, does most women go through this? No. They have that experience that they went through before. It is stuck in their mind. Maybe that person was not the best choice on paper for them, finance why everything, so they couldn't be with them. But they know exactly what they want, and the partner that they're with right now is conditionally there until they meet someone who can reach all those goals
exactly,
financially
yeah,
and XEXY.
emotionally, yeah,
Then they're walking.
yeah.
Wow, but
So
isn't
it's
that?
something that was
I
that
see
was
that
that was
deception.
It is.
Yeah,
That's the
everybody. I
word.
mean, that's why in life they say relationships now are business,
Hmm.
right?
It is. It's
Everybody
a
is looking
contract.
for, yeah, it's a contract, exactly. Everybody is looking for what is most important to them. So if for some people it could be financial aspect, right? They're looking for a financial gain. Can you guys leave that place?
Wow.
You're looking
Yeah.
for financial gain. Every woman, even your wife, everybody marry somebody because there's
Don't
something
make
that they're
this man
trying
go
to
start
get from
asking
it.
you today you with me for what?
Even men, I'm not just talking about
Yes.
his wife, he
A
too.
lot of
There's a
men.
reason why you want to marry your wife. Maybe your wife was so intelligent, you're like, okay, if I marry this lady, she and I can build something together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or there
It's
was
a
a
game.
lady that you saw that was hardworking. You say, okay, or maybe she was nurturing. You're like, okay, she might be a good mother to my kids. Those are the benefits that you were looking for. That's what you want. That's your goal. Those are your priorities. So everybody does this. Everybody is a user. You use your
Yes.
wife, she uses you. Everybody do
That's how
it.
the world goes.
Yeah, everybody do it. It's just,
So,
just
so
we
Anna,
don't talk about it.
so
Wow.
Anna, I asked my husband, right? I said, of all the people in the world, why you been sticking with me all this time? He said, you think my eyeball no heaven low?
Hmm.
I said, what does that mean? He said, trust me. And when he came here, he won the DV. He came here and he
Hmm.
said, I met a few people and I was like, I was just didn't want to just go. But he's like, he was trying to understand. He said that's how most men are. They look for where they find comfort, right? Where they feel like, okay, maybe together we can work together. And he asked me vice versa. I knew for me the top priority was I wanted someone that we can work together as a team. I don't need nobody saying, oh, be quiet, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, we should work as a team, which means like my opinion matters, your opinion matters. We can sit at the table and make a decision together as a team. And I don't want somebody who, because your life is already made and you have money and you're going to control my life and point me in the wrong direction, especially if I want to go to church and you tell me no, you can't go, or like change my faith in things. My number one goal was that. And that's why I was like, this is one of the top priorities that we we ended up together, because if that wasn't, I was gonna keep waiting and keep looking till I find someone that meet my needs in that areas. Because I've been in a relationship before where, yeah, they have the financial gain, they can manage you around, and it's not nice. Like you feel like a robot. You're just there cleaning, cooking, and doing that. No, I don't want to be that. I want us to be able to sit and make decisions together. So That's my top priority. And then the other one falling in line. So I told him that he was laughing.
Wow.
So we're all using each other, like Anna said. It's a world of using, but is it aligning together? I think that's where people are not understanding it. Like it has to align together. And if it's not working for you, but like somebody said, I guess you'll keep finding new men all over until you meet that one. Then they kill you, right? Because if you're looking for that high school day when you first that first ball, how you made you feel, and then now you're like, okay, this one, nope, didn't work. Okay, next one, nope. And it's happening. Reverse export is really happening. Women
Yeah,
are leaving relationships because they're seeking that number one feeling they had before.
I I I I I would I would want to be on the other side of the aisle.
Hmm. Oh, we lost you there.
Yeah, as far as a priority lining up, I want to be on the other side of the fence because as you guys speaking, I'm sitting here and thinking that Jesus Christ, how many other relationships, how many other relationships in Africa right now that I see as perfect relationship, and I grew up knowing these people. So if that woman was to come to the United States right now, and then she found a Tyrone, or the man was to come
It's over.
and found a Shaniqua, does that mean that they were not aligned? As far as I know, these people were good, so now you got confused me a little bit. I'm sitting here thinking like, so how is it that all along these people were great? These were our role model in Africa, coming out. We went to their places, and then
They say what you don't know wouldn't kill you. People
Right.
agree with her.
hide a lot of
I
things
think
to
this
paint
thing,
themselves a
I think
good
I think
couple.
the society, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
would think the society, I would think society plays a role because look, John Locke
It
said man
does.
was good, but the society corrupts him. So I don't necessarily agree that they were not that the man or the woman did not like each other at that point, but it was just opportunistic. I think like
Um,
say you came from Riverside County in a relationship. I mean you would like
Mhm.
this thing. And we saw it with Regina Daniel. She had a little boyfriend, she saw this older guy who was 60. I mean, tell me in the United States how many American girls would go to a 60 years old guy? The guy that
It's
was,
happening.
oh,
yeah,
it does.
It's happening
Trust
a
me,
lot.
gold
They're
diggers,
going for
they
the
do.
white one.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
but
know if it's just
Vacation,
the
it's not,
color, but the
yeah, yeah,
financial.
financial
yeah,
stability.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
don't know.
they will call you a proper,
A
yeah,
gold
they will call
digger.
name for you, they will call you
A
name.
gold
They will-
digger.
yeah, gold digger. So, yeah, so the thing is now, I would disagree that they didn't like each other. I think
No,
so.
let me say something. Let me correct that reverse pro. So let's just say you and I live in America,
Mm-hmm.
and all we know in our community is what we know.
Mm-hmm.
So we're limited to whatever. So in that moment when I meet you
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about what's going on, where our plans are within our community,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna hit it up because that's where we're at. We're limited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring a little Bible on this one. I can't remember the verse, but it said, um, "Too much where there's too much knowledge, the people perish." Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Lack of knowledge, or I don't know.
Lack is it lack of knowledge?
Lack, like LACK.
Lack of knowledge. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lack of knowledge, the people perish. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I have,
Mm-hmm.
and my thinking of my dreams and goals and aspiration is all based on in this area what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
When
what
I'm
you're
here,
exposed to.
right, this is what I'm exposed to, and looking
Mm-hmm.
among all of them, I look at you,
Mm-hmm.
River bro. You are my king.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody else in this group meet my expectation right now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then you have the opportunity. You two see me. Oh, Felicia, what? I'm on again, and please, I beg you, yeah, don't bring it around. I might get there, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then you happen to travel to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving you an example. We were in Liberia, right? Now you
Yeah.
travel to Ghana. Ghana, you're experiencing different things. Your brain is expanding of what it is you're able to do with a partner, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing Ghanaians women selling and everything, right? Your
Yeah.
mind, your entire mindset just changed. When you call me, I'm in my poor, proper Liberia. What are you doing? Oh, you know, today I'm with my mom playing. I keep my eye just chilling. When you were there, that was say your brain has started to expand.
Yeah.
So now, when every time you talk to me, I annoy you because it's like, baby, you're not even selling. You can sell. You can go find something and sell. Oh, I'm telling you, no, that's not true. I'm giving you, but you're not understanding that because you've been given the opportunity for your mind to change.
Yeah.
So now you're like, I will take you from out of there. Let me bring you. I
Mm-hmm.
am still in that mindset. You are the one who can change my mind. You should have started preparing me. But instead, because you've come in now, you saw other things, you saw some young women that look probably better than Felicia, and they're working, they're making money. You're like, okay, this is how I want my life. Your priority, everything has changed. So now I'm coming to you. I'm like, "Babe, you remember our plan, what we wanted to do?" And you're like, no, this is what I want. And I'm telling you, no, this is not what I want. This is what I want. So do you see how that have switched? And now there's no more interest. You're only you're only going to do the best you can with what you have.
Oh.
So once you have something else,
Mm-hmm.
it's game changer. The brain start to expand. You're like, well, I can get this, I can get this. And if somebody cannot work with you to understand that, guess what? You're leaving. Like in that situation, of course you loved him. He was providing for her and everything was fine. What did she know? All she knew, what we do, is that's what it is, and I enjoy it. I'm okay. But now she came somewhere else and Tyrone show up and he showed out and he was like, you know what, I can take you to the mall shopping, brought her back, probably gave her a bath, something
Man,
you have.
that
Huh?
dude got no job.
He got no job, but
Tyrone.
you don't care because you just experienced the most amazing thing that you had no
There's
clue
something they
exists.
say a player's game. Some guys
Yeah,
know how to sweet talk a woman, give them a 5-star experience when they are broke. They borrow, they pay
right.
money, they'll go
Give
and
you
buy
a
their stuff
massage,
because they
cook
Wow.
for
know what they are
you,
gain at the end of the day.
do everything. And your whole mind is like, what? I've been with him there for 15 years. He didn't take my
There,
fingernail and cut it.
there's
Yeah,
something he
yeah, but
mentioned.
I did, you know, guys. I mean, like you said, guys.
Mhm.
I think there's a different there's a
Uh-huh.
different. I mean, there's a different in society. I mean, look. Let me admit here, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, there are some things that
Hold it.
you know. I mean, we for Liberia, and I mean, we all here are, for an African origin, right? I mean, in
Mhm.
African society, how many men open car door for women? Maybe now we see a lot of Nigerian movie. Seriously, how many times we open car door for women? I came here, and, I started watching before, and, I've been watching some YouTube, and they're like, what? You don't open car door for? And I'm like, oh, so that's a big deal in the United States. I mean,
It
even you
is.
shop at a shopping center,
I
guys,
don't know if
people,
I'll say it's a big deal. I think it's something that a woman believes should be done to show
Yeah.
some type of respect and
From a movie.
yeah. No, it's movies. It's not a big deal, but it's nice for a man to open the door for a woman to show a sense of security and protection. Like
okay.
a
Uh,
sense of a
yeah, then
sense of
pushing the card, the other thing too, Anna. So I think there are some things that we did not grow up with, like when you say, oh, Messiah, the other thing. Like, I mean, so I think, like I said,
the dirty hands
people
there.
from Africa might be at a disadvantage because there are things traditional. Imagine me, I came to, say, for example, I came to the United States when I already old, I mean,
She said, wow, already over moving there.
imagine how long, imagine getting adapted to these kinds of things. You know, me and wifey go somewhere and she waiting for me to open the door. I'm like, you want
Right,
I said, you want to open your own door.
right. So,
And
I think that scripture I was talking about says D said, Jose, I think that's how you say it, Jose 4
yeah,
6.
yeah,
You
Jose.
guys. Yeah,
That's what.
and since Helen said we didn't even see our parents hug each other or kiss.
Exactly.
Right. So you didn't see
Exactly.
it, right? So that was normal for you. Now
Yeah.
you come to the US, but you see, your wife and you were meant to be together. That's what goes back to what Sis D said earlier. If God is not in the middle and you don't have the same plan, and some people are just there for the financial gain until they can get, that's one thing that I always sit and say, wow, God, you gave us everything, but you did not give us to understand the intent of people. Like, you can't tell if someone's going to harm you or not. But, now we can tell by looking at physical action, right?
Mhm.
But you can't tell by looking at someone who's sitting there clearly wants you dead, but you're there happy. Do you see? Like, it's like she's using you for money and you can't see it because she knows so well how to pretend, and you think it's normal, but then you come here now and Tyrone said, no, a man is supposed to kiss you. A man is supposed to hold you. Before this, there should be a whole hour of foreplay. An
He's supposed to,
hour?
Can I say
a man
something?
supposed to pour me a gas.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think that that's where civilization and being open-minded and being
Yeah.
somebody that um someone that learns from the environment, right? Like
Mhm.
you have to be someone that is versatile. Like you should not be rigid, right? In
Right.
life, wherever you go, you should be exposing yourself, learning different things because it helps better your human interaction and your relationships and communication style. And hence is going to improve your relationships either sexually, emotionally, whatever you want to say. So
Yeah.
I think it's important that we should consider that exposure helps a lot in
It does.
making us better people. Our parents were not exposed to a lot of, they don't believe in the emotional aspect and abuse and all these other issues. That's why they don't know that someone can live a relationship like our parents. If you ask them how was your love long life, they'll tell you what is love because they believed in procreating and providing for the family,
Yeah.
right? Rather than relationships are beyond just the kids and the. Can you guys stop?
Yeah.
Relationships are beyond children. You can enjoy being married and still have kids
Yeah.
and have a fulfilled life. You
Right.
know. So and by doing so, you have if you're exposed, you can see some things that make everybody wants their heart to be tickled, right?
Right.
Even you sitting there reverse escrow, you could be old school all the like, but I'm sure little things that your wife has seen in movies and does to you, you would enjoy it,
Yeah.
like buying you little gifts here and there. How many times did
But,
you see your mom buying you gift
yeah,
husband gift?
no, yeah,
Those little things. That's why
but
when you're exposed,
I,
you have to pick the good things that you learn to also improve your relationship and possibly improve your health, because when you're happy, your heart is happy, you don't have blood pressure issues, you don't have all kinds of diseases, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah, but Anna, we have to be careful with the exposure thing you're talking about because look,
Yeah.
I,
Right.
I,
Remember,
I said, no, calm down. No
remember
too
I
much
said,
I
exposure.
think,
remember I said you pick the good things out
yeah,
of what you see. Meaning that if you know your spouse is someone that loves gifts, but you'll take this one. If you know your spouse is someone that loves gifts, here and there, buy her something, even if it's small. The thought is what matters. They're not saying you
yeah,
should go buy her
yeah,
Gucci bags
no,
all the
yeah,
time, but
yeah, I understand. You know, like Helen said, I would even see. So there are some things like, look, you know, my church is more diverse. We have Ghanaian, Nigerian, so you know. And a lot of these people, they've been like Nigerian, Ghanaian, they've been in the United States for years. But those women are still submissive. They are a lot of them, like the things they do, they don't, a lot of them have not conformed to
Oh, we lost you there. Let's give it a minute. Uh-oh. River says pro. And I agree with what River says pro is saying, like a lot of different culture, but that's because those people value the culture. Culturally where they're from, they want to keep that culture going. They want to be identified with it. So anywhere they go, they're going to keep that culture. Like one thing I would say about Liberians that I really like is the fact that even though, a lot of people say, oh, like when people come to the US, they want to be speaking like series. Let me tell people something. It's not that they just want to, oh, you're back.
yeah,
Let's,
my brother. So the thing
yeah,
is, in the
let me
United States,
remove this
look,
one.
in the United States, I've been to some homes where you see this boy sitting in front of his mother, he and his girlfriend kissing and thing. They being affectionate. For me, I mean, I understand their culture, but sometimes I just want to be careful not to have that culture. I don't want to have that cultural clash.
River.
Where there are things that I did not really you know, there are things that are still not taboo, but there are things that I still hold, as something that I grew up with traditionally. But their way of expressing, yeah, I mean, some things are just different. And there are things I understand we have to blend with society. We have to evolve with things. But as an African, sometimes I just want to be careful not to. And it's not just me. A lot of African, like I said, my church, there are people Ghanaians who've been in the United States here for a long time. But when you go to their house, they still live that same traditional life that they have back home. Yeah, they respect their wife and things, but they do not get they don't change, they don't get overly Americanized to say, oh, we are American, we got to do it this way. They still maintain their own their own African way of doing things. That's the kind of person I am.
Oh,
Can
we
I
lost you
can I
again.
say something? River says pro.
Mm,
Yeah, go ahead. Why? Oh, River says pro is back. Hey.
I think that there are some things that those people are doing that are Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying in life.
mhm,
Part of being civilized includes separating good from bad, right?
mhm,
There are some people that overdo things when they see something, or they'll see their people on social media, motivational speakers buying their husbands buying them flowers. Some people will even buy themselves flowers and say it's their husband that bought it, and you will sit down and say, "Oh, my husband is not buy me flowers," and the rest. They're
Right.
living the culture because that's what you see. You don't know what people go through in their relationships, right? People come off good because they
mhm,
want to show you what they want you to see. Brielle, stop that, please.
Right.
And one thing I wanted to mention too is you mentioned something about physical attraction earlier, which I wanted to comment on.
mhm,
In relationships, people don't the first thing that happens before people get together is that physical attraction. So it's not that they have a game.
mhm.
They decide to settle down with you because you meet what is on their top priority list as far as what they can get or benefit from you. So I wanted to clarify that. Now
Okay.
the second thing that I wanted to mention too is that a lot of things too, when you're a God-fearing person, the
Mhm.
way you behave, the
Yeah.
things around you may not affect your personality because God has a way of making his children separated from the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And you made a statement about um like the kissing aspect of people kissing in front of their parents. I've
Yeah.
experienced that myself. and I'm probably even younger than you. It's
Mm-hmm.
very uncomfortable. I find it disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was and I have actually addressed it. Like, nobody says you should not show your affection in other people's cultures. It's okay. Like my brother is his girlfriend. Stop, please. 1 second, okay? Real, stop. You guys stop. Come, sit next to mommy. Stop. It's okay. It's okay. Stop, please. My brother dates a white girl, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're African, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our culture, we don't believe in coming in the presence of the living room where everybody is sitting as a family and you're
Yep.
holding your person's hand, or you're being so close and being so
Yeah. So
so
touchy.
affectionate,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh my, you guys.
And when the first time I saw that, I thought maybe, okay, this Anoibo, she may not understand, family dynamic. And I'm like, okay. So my mom is someone that's open minded, but my dad is not.
Mm.
So as soon as she left that first day, my dad said, "What is this?"
Yeah, that just
you
like me.
know, my dad said, he said, this one with this the one that your brother has gone and chosen. He will go and find him an African woman from South Africa. And now
Yeah.
said, because we know how much our brother likes the girl, and because it's someone she just came in the family, she doesn't really understand that our parents are laid back, but my dad is old school.
Mm.
So what I did was I spoke to my brother about that. Like, nobody says you should not hug, but you have to be respectful. She has to be respectful that in your culture, it's not okay to display public affection like that, especially in front of
Right.
others. If it was just us and you guys are doing that, it's okay because we're within the same age group. You understand? But when
Mm.
you're
Yeah.
doing it, maybe in her family, they're okay with that. Italians show a lot of affection to each
Yeah.
other and hold
Mm.
hands and the guys. And that's where
Yeah.
being culturally sensitive comes to play, you know.
Yeah.
So understanding your environment is a very big part when you're considering a partner and considering your love life or your sexual, you know, life. So I think that's something a lot of our African parents and our African people don't fail to understand. That culture has a lot to play before you marry someone or date someone or consider saying that this person is the one. You have to understand your culture. Is this something you're willing you're willing to condone, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
So
I think, God, my battery going dead. Let me just say my last.
Yeah, we're about to close anyway.
I think
Mhm.
no. There's this there's this Nigerian couple, and I haven't seen them for a while, but oh, they are my favorite, right? This, well, the woman is Nigerian and the guy is an American. But oh my God, if that American lady dresses, you would think she's a Nigerian. She would every party we have. That woman cook. She cook better. Like she is. No, the lady blend. And initially, I mean, they came and both of them met, and the guy. And look, when we go to their house, you can barely tell the woman is an American. She blend in so well. Like I'm talking about
She
African.
wanted to. She
Yeah,
really enjoyed the culture, and he made it easy for her
yeah,
to understand it. You
yeah.
know.
That woman
Yeah.
drink Guinness, all the real African stuff. You know how most Americans don't drink Guinness because it's bitter. That woman drink Guinness. Like a lot of the things the African store, that woman
Wow.
will go visit and she cook. And there are times that a lot of them, you're right. A lot of them really want to get into the culture and really, but sometimes it's difficult. I think I told you about when I was son left. My older son, my wife was panicking. We went to the police station to report it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the police guy said, but Why you're looking for him? How old is he? We say, oh, he's 19, going to 20. The man said, look, come on here, go home and sit down. He going to his girlfriend. And my wife like, what? He ain't got no girlfriend? I mean, I don't know his girlfriend. I'm supposed to know his girlfriend. The police guys,
No, they're not gonna tell you.
you know nothing. That's what they made. And my wife was mad. Police said, look, when my first girlfriend, my mother never even knew. So you see how their culture are different. Like, I mean, I know Labrador has Iguana, but when you go like in a Ghanaian, the Nigerian, that's why we respect the Ghanaians and the Nigerian culture. Like a lot of them, it's more like family. People know the wife and thing. But in America, they don't have to know unless they want to. They're not obligated. They may,
Right,
yeah, the girl ain't gotta like your family. Like in Africa, we say, oh, you gotta like my mom, but she don't even care. She doesn't have to like. All she cares about you are her nuclear family. All the other people are extended family. I mean, extended or whatever. So I think
right,
how they see it. So that's why, like Anna said, it is important, yes, to understand society. But sometimes, Anna, sometimes it work. Yeah, sometimes it work. Sometimes when you cross these cross marriages, I see a lot of them clashing where, you know, I mean, sometimes it work. If you lucky, you got you got an American woman that will blend in. I mean, stick to your culture, but there are some of them that will say, you know what, you know, I want you for who you are. I don't care about your family. So sometimes I think it becomes, yeah, God, let me go charge their battery. This is a great topic. I was still,
right. Yeah, I'm so glad for the topic. I just wanted to say, I think it just depends on individual because I would say there are some Liberians here. One, I understand. I kind of see where most Liberians come from because when you sound different, you look different already. It's hard for you to get certain job. But I
yeah,
think it's good to be diverse, right? Without you losing your culture.
yeah,
Like at my job, I went in the lab to go check to make sure, whatever. And I saw a guy from Nigeria, like you said, and he was talking to me. He had no idea. He thought I was Black American. This is what everybody always think of me. They think I'm Black American or I'm from one of the islands. So I went in there and I started talking, in the Nigerian pidgin. I said, my brother, how you did? He
mm-hmm,
stood there for a minute. He was like, huh? You're African? I said, yes. And he said, what part of Africa are you from? I said, Liberia. He said, for the long time I've been here, I didn't even know you were African. I said, because one, and I think that's what people misunderstand certain things, right?
mm-hmm,
Certain places, certain time, you turn it on and you turn it off. And I
mm-hmm.
think a lot of people know how to do that because if you had met me outside of work, then maybe you would have known that I'm not American.
Mm-hmm.
But you always see me at work, and that's the place of business. So
Yep,
I have my business mode on, but when I'm at home, even my kids know how to speak colloquial now because I teach it to them.
yep, that's great.
You know,
That's good.
but
Yep.
when people see you overall and they're like, "Oh, they want to serious mama," no, you gotta know how to.
All right, guys, I will be watching you. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you,
thank
Anna.
you so much, girls, bro. You
Okay.
know, people say serious mind and all that. So I think it took them time to get her to do that. Imposing and demanding won't work. Bottom line is communication. Exactly. The thing is, people are not communicating their needs. Most of the people, I think, for me, in my opinion, it's easier for a woman to adapt to a man's culture, especially, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, let's say the man is Black, African, and then the woman is white. Of course, she wants to learn that because the man is the one who's going to try to teach them. And he's not going to be around the parents all the time. She feels the need to learn that culture because she's going to have to interact with the extended family. And that is her way of learning. But I think the men that goes on the other side, they just be talking their ways. But this was a really, really good conversation. And I'm so glad that I made it on here for us to talk about it. Communication is the key. And if you can't communicate, I don't know where your relationship is going to be. Like Anna said, I think you said it all already. Like, if people don't understand what their priorities are in the relationship, that's where the confusion comes in. And I also think people just need to know the season that they're in their relationship. Because if you don't know that, like for instance, I think me and my husband always talk about before we had our kids, all the things we used to do. And then I'm like, well, we're in a season right now where we're not. He was like, I don't remember when last you and I just went out and came back late. So I'm asking him, if we do that, where are we leaving the kids? He's like, yeah, you're right. We can't do that. So it's kind of like you have to understand the season you're in, and you have to communicate and accommodate whatever it is that's going on. If you really want to spend time together, okay, we're going to plan and try to get your kids in bed early or help with the house chores. So somebody don't feel like they're working and they're coming home doing everything. And then now that day number 3 is cut short of doing happy time. But I really wanted to, I know we talk about what are some advisable um, approach. One, and I think we already said it all. Like, identify what the cost is. Why are you losing? Why is the sex drive not the same? Was it the same in the beginning, and then something happened, and now your drop and his drop? Because sometimes certain circumstances in life will really get you to not be interested in certain things anymore. So, what is it? Medical reason? Like, try to identify what happened that now you guys had differences in there, and then before you start running for the exit door. Um, Talk openly, be honest. Maybe there's something somebody's doing that is not satisfying you. Like, oh, yeah, we're gonna cut that part out. You're not gonna do it because you're not great at it. Don't do that. Show them what it is will help you in that area for you to feel like you're enjoying intimacy, right? Um, Set realistic expectations. Like, I think that's the thing. If somebody works 2 jobs and come home and still has to cook and clean, let's just say coming from the man, do you really expect them to perform the same way that they will if they weren't doing all these things in those same days? So maybe kind of like being realistic about what's happening, the reality of it. How long? If you say we used to do 3 days a week, okay, now you have kids, you have work, and you have to come home, get the place ready, do all that, and prepare everything. You're probably only getting 2 hours of sleep. Is it gonna be if you're someone who likes to do an hour? Uh, can we meet in the middle? Maybe 20 to 30 minutes just to say we did something and prepares each other for it. So that way, when you're there, you already know what's happening, right? You're not like, oh, you're trying for hours just to get somebody in the mood. Um, and then finding compromise. We already talk about that. Focus on full play and intimacy. I feel like that's where a lot of people don't get it when they say women's sex drives are hard. I don't think it's all about the actual XEX. I think it's about the intimacy level. Like, maybe, stroking your partner ego. It also could make them be more intimate with you. Like, talking about things that are important to them. And then sharing case. I will tell you, um, when I thought about this topic and I was glad to talk about it and I was reading my little notes, it just hit me like we probably don't kiss a lot like the way we used to. And those are tiny little things that, in my opinion, could really help your relationship. If you're able to show those little intimacy level, like, kiss here and there before you go to work. Make sure you don't leave without kissing your partner. Or like just say, I love you, hold each other hand. Like, you don't have to be walking around, hold each other hands. Sometimes, in my opinion, that help with the intimacy level. Ooh, you guys. So, you know, If it's beyond your imagination and you guys just can't solve it, I think the next step, if you really want your relationship to work, is look for a help from a professional. You could talk to a therapist, your pastor, someone you really respect and highly. And this is why I think we had this conversation on here before. I believe when you get married, the people that you let stand in your wedding, those are your support system, in my opinion. Those are your support system. You don't just let anybody just stand in your wedding because, oh, we've been friends for a while. No, you look at that person as a person that, if stuff went wrong, can I come to you? Are you able to point me in the right direction and give me ideas about things that are going on, or, put some senses in my head if I'm doing the wrong thing? So that's why it's important for you to do that. So seek help from your community, your mom, someone you really trust that will keep your confidence and keep things confident between you guys. I think that's the key. So with that being said, shoot, I don't think it should be your first option. And I can't tell you what to do. You weigh out your option, and if you think priority, then yeah, why not? Find somebody else that will cover your priority. But if it's not and you really want your relationship to work, follow all these things I would say. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, sis Helen. Thank you, sis D. Thank you, River Says Pro, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Anna, for being on the show. And thank you to our viewers and everybody who contributed to making this segment a great one again. Just want to say thank you to you guys. We've been here longer than we should. It's late at night now. We got a lot to do tomorrow. So I might be here earlier tomorrow because I have some prior obligation. So I'll be here a little early tomorrow. Hey Anna, you want to give your closing statement?
You said
You said
everything I would
everything
have
I would
loved
have
to
loved
say.
to say. Oh.
Thank
Well,
you.
you guys, it was another great one. We have a very interesting one tomorrow. I'm hoping we can come live early because I have somewhere to be in the evening, you guys. But I'll let you guys know what time. If you guys are available, we probably could do the show by 1 o'clock. I know a few people will probably not be on, but we'll try to see what we can do. Because I have to be somewhere tomorrow. I just realized that. I checked my calendar. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Continue to share the show. Encourage your friends, your family. Again, this platform, we talk about things that people don't want to talk about, uncomfortable stuff, things that real people are going through and that we think is worth talking about. I've learned a lot tonight. And I'm sure the rest of my co-panelists learned a lot. Thank you guys all for your contribution in making this I said episode, this segment worth a while. All right, you guys have a great night, and we will be here again tomorrow. Make sure to share the show. Even if you didn't watch while it was live, you can still watch it and still leave a comment. You guys go to my page, check my bio, and leave us a review. It's very, very important. That's will be one of your ways you can support this program to continually being aired here. All right, thank you. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Anna. I will see you guys. And don't talk about my hair tie. This hairstyle is called I didn't do my hair. You guys have a good